Welcome back, race fans, to the tunnel turn, where it gets a little hairy.
That's the way we like it.
You know it, all day, every day. I'm Phil, this is Christina.
How you doing?
And today, we got something special for you. It's not a power ranking, it's not a review. Today we got our first top 10 list.
Oh yeah, our first top 10 list. And not just any top 10 list. This is Phill and I's bucket list of tracks that we would love to see. But also, it's our top 10 of the best tracks on the circuit for a new NASCAR fan to go see if you're new to the racing.
Yep, and these are pretty much the best tracks that provide the best racing that NASCAR can offer. So you're not going to see your average cookie cutter track. There may be one on there, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
But it's also not just the tracks themselves, it's the history, the prestige, the reason why they're there, everything about that track as well.
Yes, we definitely take the history and prestige of these tracks into account when it comes to the top of this list.
That is true. We get passionate about our top 10s. We get passionate about the tracks that we talk about, the races we watch. We love NASCAR, we watch it every week. So this video may go a little long, so we've decided we're going to break it up into two parts. So part 1 will be 10 through 6. Part 2 will be 5 through 1. Top 5, obviously. So let's get right into our bucket list. Top 10 tracks that you should see if you're a new NASCAR fan.
Yeah, man, let's get started. Can I give the first one?
I guess, go ahead.
All right. Our number 10 track. I know we got a lot of lefts, but occasionally we'll go right. And that means we got a road course. Watkins, Glen International is probably the best road course on the circuit right now. It's got such long straightaways, and then they gotta get into those tight turns, right? There's a lot of bumping and banging.
Okay, I know a lot of you are looking at him going, huh? Like I am, because I don't know all that. But I'm going to tell you what I see. I see cars going through these really small turns. I mean, just all over each other. There's just no room anywhere. And they're just looking for that little inch just to get in. Oh my God, some of the tempers there too. I remember Harvick getting into fights with Montoya there. I mean, literally coming to blows, and can't forget Tony Stewart there.
Yeah, even farther back than that, Tony Stewart and Jeff Gordon, they got into it a few times. I mean, the history of this track, it goes way back. First NASCAR race was 1986. You know, so it's not the oldest of the tracks, but I mean, the track itself is 56, but NASCAR hasn't been there that long.
I believe, didn't they say Indy, or did you say Indy raced there before NASCAR?
The Indy cars raced there. There's some IMSA cars that race there. There's a lot of different series. They're always having different series going in and out of that track.
I didn't hear F1 stop going there though.
Yeah, F1 doesn't go there anymore, but right. That's a big time worldwide series. You know, to them, Watkins Glen, it's just another track. It's just not good enough for them.
But it's a good race. It's a good. I mean, people bounce off walls like they're bouncing off a bounce house. I mean, it's insane when. What was it, Hornish? He was coming around the corner, bounced off that wall, and then took Gordon with him, and you thought he was hurt, but he was okay. Obviously, thank God for the safety of NASCAR, but it was a crazy crash.
Oh yeah, that track has had a lot of crazy wrecks because the walls on each side are so close together, they can easily bounce like pinballs, and then when they come back across the track, and there's cars going 120 miles an hour, there is no way that they can not hit them. And then you got cars flying in the air, and right underneath the tagline, "Speed is beautiful."
Oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember that. It was awesome. It was just carnage, and you saw "Speed is beautiful," and it was beautiful. I mean, it was art in motion and art in destruction.
Mm-hmm. It's just it's the best road course, especially for stock cars. It's like that's the kind of road course that's just made for stock cars. it's just a great track. So we had to have it in our top 10, and that's where it is, number 10.
Not to mention, it doesn't hurt the fact that Tony Stewart is the winningest driver here.
Yes, he is. He has 5.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Continue on with ours. Number 9, we're going to talk about Dover, the Monster Mile. The Monster Mile is a 1-mile track. It's similar to Bristol, where it's high banks, except the only difference is Bristol's half a mile and Dover is 1 mile.
Don't forget that it's concrete too.
Oh, it's also concrete. Thank you. It's very visitor friendly. There's lots of food to eat around there. It's in every race you go to is very family friendly. Your kids will love it. You know, no matter, take a group, by yourself, no matter what, you're gonna have a good time. No matter what track you go to. But if you go to Dover, make sure you take some earmuffs because Dover can get loud.
Just like similar to Bristol again, very loud because it's like a bowl, so all the sound it just echoes all inside. You know, and the thing with Dover is unique to other tracks. For most tracks, when they get into the banks kind of go up into the turn, but at Dover it kind of sinks down into the turn, which makes it very different because then you're coming up on the straightaway down into the turn. And it's a difficult track to drive, and sometimes bad things happen at those high speeds.
Yeah, but you know what? When you're in the race, you get this really cool trophy that looks like I forgot the name of the monster. Do you remember?
It's Miles the Monster.
Miles the Monster. Coolest looking monster, not to mention if you go to the track, he's there. You see him in like living life. This thing is huge. It's cool. Photo opportunity to put in your photo album. Place you gotta visit. If you ever get to Delaware, you can start by saying, "Hey, I'm in Delaware." But anyway, visit Dover. It is a good track. It's a good race. You're gonna have a good time.
Oh yeah, and it's just a great track. It makes a lot of great racing. You got 2 different grooves. There's disaster waiting for you. It's fast because of the high banks. Man, it's good. But some drivers really know their way around, like Jimmy Johnson. He's got 11 wins at Dover, Delaware.
Yeah, no kidding. Like Bristol, it's very tight. You see big one type wrecks where you're going to see a lot of wrecking here because there's just nowhere to, when one car wrecks, there's just nowhere for the other cars to go. You can't see.
Right,
So
plus the walls the inside wall's right there, so you get that pinball effect.
Oh yeah, it's intense to see. I mean, I remember Tony Stewart sliding on his side after one of the wrecks. It was just insane.
Yeah, and don't forget Joey Logano pretty much rolling down the banking.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy to see. But you will get your money's worth out of a race going to Dover because you will see an exciting race. And I think one of the NASCAR's closest finish was .08 seconds where Jimmy Johnson won. Is at this track. I forgot who it was against.
Just by a hair over his teammate, Kyle Busch. Okay, we're just going to keep right on moving. We're going to go to number 8, Charlotte Motor Speedway.
The original cookie cutter.
Yes, that means it's a 1.5 mile intermediate size track, a tri-oval. There's a lot of tracks that are similar to it, but like I said, it's the original. It's the first one, it's the one that makes our list.
Definitely. No, not just for the race itself, but NASCAR may have been born in Daytona, but NASCAR made its home in Charlotte. It's everything happens there. Your Hall of Fame is there. All your race shops are there. Everything to do with NASCAR is that you can go anywhere there and get all kinds of tours to pretty much every driver in the circuit. Charlotte is a really sightseeing type of town. It's a big area. There's a lot to see. There's sightseeing everywhere, things to do, restaurants, shops. You cannot go wrong with a trip to Charlotte.
No, you can't. It's definitely a big city. And the track itself, you know, you got some of the biggest races. You got the All-Star race and you got the Coca-Cola 600 in back-to-back weeks. Those are always good races.
Not to mention it is the home. It is the house that Jimmy Johnson built.
Yep, he has the most wins with 8 wins because when it used to be called Lowe's Motor Speedway and he was in the Lowe's home improvement car, You know, every time we went up there, it's like, okay,
It stoked the track up.
who's in second? Who's running second? That's what the race was for.
Yep. Because Jimmy was always going to be up there, and there's just nothing you could do about it.
No. Not to mention, 2 years ago in 2018, they started racing in the Roval.
What's a roval?
Well, the Roval, it's a road course slash oval. It's got the road course where it turns through the middle, and there's a racetrack in the middle, and then they come out of that, and then bam, they go up on the high banks, and it's just a really fun race.
As if they couldn't make Charlotte a lot cooler. The roval was a fun race to watch. Just watch them draft in areas where you watch. They would normally do things like at Daytona. They were doing it at Charlotte, and it was insane to see.
Yep, and then all of a sudden they have to hit the brakes to go into this tight little bus loop and go into this tight turn. You know, I mean, and it's produced great finishes every time. Man, I mean, you know, the first one, you had Jimmy Johnson and Truex racing for the win, and in that little loop at the end, they end up spinning and hit each other, and then Ryan Blaney from third just freaking sneaks right through there and says,
"Oh yeah,
thank you for the win." I mean, it's such a great finish.
Oh, we were screaming our heads off. I think we were hating on Jimmy at that time, so we kind of were so happy he spun out because it was close to the end of the playoffs, and they were getting ready to go into the chase. And
yeah, a little bit.
Oh, we were having a blast. It's always fun. Whether you're there or home, the races are the end of the race is always fun to watch.
Yeah, man. Basically, Charlotte, it's still one of the crown jewel tracks on the circuit that everybody wants to win at.
There's no arguing that. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, just keep on trucking towards that top 5 because we want to know what the top 5 tracks are. Don't you, honey?
Absolutely.
So let's get on to number 7. Next on our bucket list that we're dying to go see one day. Hopefully, you know, when we retire, we get older, maybe we'll get that camper that every NASCAR fan dreams of, and we'll go to every track. Richmond International Raceway is one of those tracks.
Absolutely, man. 3/4 mile, D-shaped oval, 14-degree banking. It's just pretty much designed for stock car racing. It's been called the action track. It's just a really great track. Exactly.
It originally was the Richmond Fairgrounds. This little gem of a short track is an hour outside of Washington, D.C. It's a great destination for family, friends, racing, and history. You know, obviously, going through Washington, D.C., right there, you got all the White House and all the museums and everything you can go check out. But Richmond in itself is a really beautiful track. It's a really beautiful area, and I definitely was one of these tracks I want to go see before I die.
Yep, it has a lot of history there too in NASCAR, because if Jimmy Johnson built Charlotte Motor Speedway, then Richard Petty built Richmond with his 13 wins here. He won 7 in a row and 9 out of 10 races. That's just insane.
And that's crazy just to think about.
Right, he owned that track. And then for a while when the chase started in the playoffs, it was the last chance race to make it.
Oh, I remember some tempers flying here and there. But the thing that sticks out my mind in the most is when they had that restart between Kyle Busch and Junior. And Kyle came off the corner a little bit. I think it was a little too high or something. And caught Junior, and Junior crashed the wall. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Busch had to have a police escort to go home. Wrap your head around that.
That's right, because you got the most popular driver getting taken out.
By the most hated driver at the time.
Yeah, that pretty much started, you know, the Kyle Busch Haters Club. I know there's a lot of you out there that don't like Kyle Busch, and I know this is probably one of the reasons. And hey, that's fine.
That's okay. We love haters. Bring them on. Comment below. We're going to keep on rooting for Kyle Busch, and he's going to keep on winning, so go ahead and cry.
But going back to Richmond, you also got races like when Jeremy Mayfield in the very first year of the chase. It was a lot of scenarios that he needed to win to get into the chase, and he just said, you know what? F those scenarios. I'm just going to go out and win the race. And that's exactly what he did, and that was an awesome moment.
Is that Octane 93 you're wearing, honey?
Oh yeah, just might be.
And of course you can't forget Spingate. If you don't know what Spingate is, Spingate was the downfall of Michael Waltrip Racing. Clint Boyer spun out at the end of a race. This was right before the playoffs. They were trying to get Martin Truex into the chase.
On purpose, by the way. He spun out on purpose.
Right, he spun out on purpose, which got Martin Truex into the race. After all was said and done, and they got caught, because they did get away with it in the beginning. I'm not sure exactly how they got caught, but they did get caught.
Because NASCAR heard their radio waves where he said that they need a caution, and he intentionally spun out. Not to mention the deals that they made with the other teams.
This is when I joined the hater club for Clint Boyer, because I liked him up to that point, and I'm sorry. I don't care who I race for or whatever. I think it's a really cruddy move to spin out on purpose.
Yeah, that's just manipulating the results, because where they were at, they were in trouble.
Right.
And they basically needed a caution, otherwise they were going to be out. And he just, okay, we'll cause a caution.
Right, if you can't race your way there, then you just don't deserve to be there to me.
Yep. So, I mean, there's just been so many great races. It's a great track. It's a historic track. It's a fun track to watch. It's a fun place to go to. Richmond is number 7 on this list.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we're just going to keep moving. After Richmond, when it comes to number 6, well, we're just going to stay in the state of Virginia, and we're just going to go right on down the street to the half mile of mayhem, Martinsville, Virginia. The smallest track right now on the circuit, and still the only track left from NASCAR's original season.
This NASCAR track, known as the Paperclip, is also known for its hot dogs. Want to try them? You cannot get on Martinsville Speedway without trying their hot dogs. Everybody talks about their hot dogs. I will break my diet to try their hot dogs, so we must try their hot dogs.
Yeah, they look delicious. I'll try more than 1 or 2.
Hey, more the better. Anyway, grandfather clock. Every driver says they want this clock. They want it in their trophy case. Some have more than one, but they all want it.
Yeah, it is a beautiful grandfather clock. Probably one of the most awesome trophies.
And unique.
I know. What other trophy do you get this big, huge grandfather clock? I mean, it's beautiful.
Right. It's not, as much as it's cool to get a trophy, how do you put, obviously we'll gladly display all of our trophies at our house, but think about it for half a second. This beautiful grandfather clock is your trophy. It's just amazing to think about how beautiful it would look in your house.
Yep, like you said, everybody wants it.
Yep.
And let's talk about the racing itself. I mean, the long straightaways, tight turns, hence the name the Paperclip. It's just everybody's trying to get in the same spot, and a lot of times they'll end up running into each other, leaning into each other. It's a very aggressive track. You have to fight to win at this track.
No kidding. And fight they did. I could bring up an example. Denny Hamlin and Chase, just what, last year I think it was?
A few years ago.
His rookie
season, when he was still...
Oh, that's right, when he was driving that 24 car again. Get off of that damn 24 car again. Anyway, it was a race right before the chase, and both Hamlin and Logano were trying to get in, and Hamlin took out Chase for the win.
Yeah, he spun him right out.
But Hamlin also considers this track one of his home tracks, so Hamlin's going to do anything to win this track, so I'm not surprised that he did it. But anyways, it pretty much came to almost fisticuffs. They were in each other's faces.
Oh yeah, it was very fun to watch. But that's the norm at Martinsville. Guys get upset at each other because someone's spitting them out. I recall a time when Hamlin spun out Gordon, and Gordon spins out Wallace. I mean, it's Martinsville. It's a short track. I mean, look at Logano and Kenseth a few years ago. Man, as much as I didn't like it, the crowd went nuts.
Oh yeah, the crowd was insane. They were screaming. It was like, it's almost like they felt, maybe I can't think for them, but it almost felt like Matt Kenseth had redemption against Logano for some unknown reason, other than the fact that I know he took him out, but the kid was an aggressive driver. Everybody knew he was an aggressive driver. Matt Kenseth wasn't an aggressive driver, but why hold that against Logano? Because he's more an aggressive driver than Matt because he won't step up and do it.
Well, yeah. Well, his defense is that he took me out of the playoffs, so I made a move to take him out of the playoffs. Honestly, I think it was a little childish, but that's the way it is. I mean, this is also the home to Jeff Gordon's final win to make the championship race in Homestead.
Oh yeah, when I first started watching Martinsville with my husband when we first met, I remember they would talk about Jeff Gordon was the king here. I mean, I don't know if the king, but he was the driver who was winning the most at this time, and he was sure as heck. I was watching with him. He was up there.
Yeah, Jeff Gordon definitely has a few of these grandfather clocks. But of course, who holds the most grandfather clocks? Richard Petty. I mean, these short tracks, that was his forte, and he owned this track.
Yeah, but it's hard to say, isn't Richard Petty good everywhere?
Yeah, he is he's good everywhere. That's why he's the king.
Martinsville Speedway is all about history. So if history is your thing, like me, I love history. This is a track you want to take a trip to. It's got all the excitement of the beating, the bumping, the tumpers, and all that. You're going to see that. But if nostalgia is your thing, this is the track you want to go to because you will have all the old school NASCAR that you want to see.
Yeah, it just feels like you go back in time when you're at Martinsville. Even though the cars are new, the atmosphere it feels like you're going back in time. History.
So pack up your DeLoreans and let's go.
Yeah, well, there is our first 5, 6 through 10. So that makes it as the end of part 1.
How do you feel about them? Comment below. If you liked our top 10 so far, let us know. If you don't, tell us where we need help or what tracks we maybe should have added so far. What tracks you think we should add to our top 5, which is coming up.
Yep, I feel like we've been doing good, but I'm a little biased, I guess. But that's okay.
Of course you do. But yes, I feel like we've been doing good too. But we're getting into the nitty gritty now. We're getting into the top 5 with really good tracks.
Oh yeah, and part 2 with the top 5, it will be coming up as soon as we can get it out.
As soon as we can get it out, huh?
Yep, so I'm not going to put a time frame on it, but it will be. We're going to be making it right now, so it'll get out soon. In the meantime, go ahead, please like and subscribe. And if you're subscribed, please hit that bell so that way you know every time we drop the videos.
Yep, they will get better, we will get weirder, and they will keep coming.
Yep, so until then, have a good day.
Bye.